Now, here's your hosts, the League Dad, Kevin, Mitchell, and Alistair.
What's up, gamers, and welcome to another episode of the All-In Podcast presented by Excellency Esports. I'm the League Dad, and we're here, as always, with Kevin, Mitchell, Alistair, and we're going to discuss all of last week's action. But first up, guys, how are y'all doing? How was your week? How was your weekend? Give us a quick update what's going on in y'all's lives.
My weekend was pretty good. I did some local San Jose stuff, just hung out. Yeah, went to a bar, met some random people, went to dinner. A lot of people,
nice.
And they played League too. And I was like, yo, check out my podcast. I don't know if they will, but that'd be really cool if they did.
Hey, well, if they're listening, right?
Hello.
Yeah.
Very nice. My weekend was pretty good too. Helped celebrate my little brother's birthday. He turned 21, so we got him his first.
Uh-oh.
Drinks. I mean, obviously he has never drank before, and I would never.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's right.
But yeah, it was
That
pretty
was the
fun.
first time I'm ever having.
So he had his first drink ever.
Yeah, ever.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
history of ever.
Man, that must have been.
Yeah. It was pretty funny.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Alistair, how about you? Packing up, getting ready to move?
Yeah, went up north to see some family before I moved down. Other than that, pretty uneventful.
Nice.
Up north, like Antarctica? Or no?
Yeah,
North Pole.
yes, Antarctica.
Antarctica? Like where Santa is? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Penguins. Yeah, nice.
Well, glad to hear that you guys are doing well. My weekend was pretty good. My kids started school today, so I'm a little bit sleepy, I'm not gonna lie. You know, and it sucks for me because when they go back to school, it's kind of like I gotta go back because it's so friggin' early. But but still, the podcast must go on, and so here we are, and we're gonna talk about the games this weekend, y'all. I know, Kevin, you're happy. Team Liquid beating C9 pretty handedly 3-1, and EG beating Dignitas 3-1 too. Guys, I'm just gonna open it up to you and get your initial thoughts, reactions on both those series, just kind of in a big macro overview, and then we'll dive deeper into each. But just overall initial thoughts on those.
Yeah. Let's. Do you guys want to talk about the more exciting one, C9TL?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that. Good call.
One line for EG Dig, so I'm down.
Yeah, that sounds good.
C9 versus TL. I watched the dive. Inferior podcast, whatever. But if any of you guys have seen it,
They're
they
all right.
all predicted C9 to win. And I think the general sentiment was that C9 was going to be the stronger team going in for most of the community. Yeah, here on this podcast, all four of us predicted TL.
Hello,
right.
we knew it.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty interesting because it makes me wonder, how in tune are the community figures really in with the game? I thought it was gonna be closer because I said 3-2. I think most of us said 3-2, but it was very one-sided from TL.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of us picked up on the fact that Santorin was gonna be a big difference maker from.
We said that a lot.
So he was huge. He's been playing with the team for 2 weeks, and he's already probably twice the jungler Armao is, and that's pretty insane. And this team is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if this team, if you told me today you came from the future, TL won the whole split, I would just not be surprised. I think they're really, really good right now.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. Yep.
I mean, I obviously think it's really cool. I think I convinced League Dad last time around.
You did.
I know Mitch was on board, and then I think I convinced League Dad. I was just obviously espousing Liquid's praises and whatever. But I didn't think it was going to go this one-sidedly. I thought C9 was on a downward trend. I thought that Liquid with Santorin and some practice time is a boon. But I didn't think it was going to be this much of a boon. The guy played like a man.
He's good. Yeah, that's a good dude.
All those first ones that we saw last finals when Armeo was in, happening to Alfari just happened with Santorin. He was just going in and abusing perks mostly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that Liquid was on a very good day. I think C9 wasn't on a bad day per se. I think they were just playing okay. This was just a regular C9 performance to me. This is what I expected out of C9. I just didn't expect this much out of Liquid. So yeah, that's what I have for the first pass by. I got a lot of thoughts to go into it, but
sure.
As far as I feel Liquid is looking really solid, and I think they're very close to qualifying for Worlds. Then you'll have to only be top 3, right? So you just
have to win one more series, and they're in.
Yep.
Yep.
If
Wow.
you lose, you still get one more chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I feel like this is the TL we all kind of expected coming into this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
Obviously, it's not what we got during summer split, but I'm glad to see it happening. I don't know. I mean, I think everyone's kind of said everything I would have said, but I mean, they look
wait,
good.
I actually do want to add something then on top of that. Core JJ was also possessed.
Oh yeah. Oh, we'll talk about him more for sure because there's a lot we can unpack here because first we can talk about all the good things that Team Liquid did and then we can talk about all the bad things C9 did because I think there was a lot to talk about, right? So let's start with the good with Team Liquid, right? And I'm gonna get right into what you're talking about, Santorin, and it was obvious he was putting that pressure in the mid lane. I think in a few games he's flash queuing in there. I think one was with Trundle and one was with somebody else. I can't remember, but it was to guarantee the kill, basically. And so I just thought he was playing out of his mind. What else did you guys pick up on Team Liquid? I mean, let me real quickly our MVP or our player of the series vote since we all voted Team Liquid to win. Kevin, you had Tactical. Mitchell, you had Alfari. Alistair, you had Core JJ, and I said Santorin. And honestly, any one of those, maybe minus Tactical, could be like player of the series, right? Because they are all that good. But go ahead,
I
Mitchell.
honestly think the one that we didn't say, because I don't actually know who it was. I couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
I couldn't either.
But the one person we didn't say might have actually deserved it the most, Jensen.
He played good.
He played really, really well, actually. He played crazy. He played it on Lee Sin.
Oh, yeah.
Something I want to note, like, about just it's like pretty in tune with the Jensen and the draft. So like starting with the draft, they picked pretty much very early game focused comps. Like
Mhm.
they didn't really pick too much scaling. You definitely saw the Oriana Aphelios in game 1 from Cloud9 and just hard early game on the side of Team Liquid.
Yep.
Nobody really expected that playstyle, right? They like took
Mm.
a page out of like EG's book or even C9's book and like they played a bunch of early game. They played the Sejuani and like it was just such an aggressive Sejuani. Like
Yeah.
you did what Sejuani's supposed to do. You get 2 melees and you just freaking fight all the time. You run at people. You don't farm at all. Yeah, Jensen, his Syndra was his Lee Sin
Oh gosh, yeah,
was
so
pretty
good.
good, but his Syndra was really nuts.
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
yeah, this is the OG Syndra player. His Lee Sin could be improved on. Obviously, he had some really good plays, but especially I think it was game 4. I was like, yeah, your Lee Sin needs a little bit of work, but that's okay. They won, and that's what matters.
Well, what'd you think of Santorin's Lee Sin? Because he had some moments there too.
It was pretty good, yeah. His Lee Sin was actually, yeah. Santorin's Lee Sin's really clean. I think it's always been really clean.
Yeah.
Definitely, Santorin could give Jensen some lessons. Like, just I don't know. Overall decision making
True.
from Jensen on the Lee Sin, especially game 4. I think he did E flash like 2 or 3 times, and then Gore Drinkered at like basically full health or
Yeah.
like 50% HP. I'm like, yeah, that's not how you play Lee Sin.
Mhm.
Also, like if you whiff your Q and then you just go in after and you're doing Q max build, it's also pretty sus. Needed that a couple times and kind of died.
Yeah.
But I mean, his team was there to follow him up, so
Yeah.
that's okay. So yeah, that's just what I'll talk. I thought Jensen played really, really well on the Syndra. Last thing to comment on the draft, this team does not play new champions though. They don't play the Gwen or Viego really ever, and I thought that
That's
was
true.
interesting. They played like Renekton, Jace, Lee Sin, Syndra, right? Like they played Trundle, Sejuani, Lee
Mhm.
Sin. I don't know. They're just not really picking up the new champions except Ziggs maybe, and I mean that's cool because they won, but something to think about. I
Yeah,
guess.
true.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but
I mean, I think they don't pick like the newly released characters, but as for like Ziggs and I think Sedge was played twice, no one plays those characters in the league as far as I can tell. And I would argue they're not very Sedge specifically. Ziggs is quite good, but I would argue Sedge is not a very good character. But they had a very good strategy to execute it, and I would count that as playing a new character in the sense like no one plays Sejuani, but I do think that you should probably be abusing at least Viego in certain comps. And Jensen, last time he played it, wasn't looking so great. So I'm hoping it goes the route of Lee Sin, but this isn't the time to experiment, right? So I don't know. I will say that I think Tactical did a really good job of just like not inting. Like there were a lot of times where because like they just game 4 was
AFK
44% dual proximity. His River Shin just left.
Yeah.
Went everywhere else but bot, and he just did not feed. And like when they were diving him, he survived multiple times.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Once or twice. Like honestly, I think it's a pretty good job that like he didn't feed. Like he's not gonna be an MVP for just not inting, but he did what he needed to, and he did it
Right.
quite well. In the late game, his Ziggs was actually quite good. His DPS in those team fights and at the end of the game was
Oh, it was high.
sometimes the highest or the second highest by far on Ziggs. And he's like, this is something we could not do with Double It, by the way. This is one thing that Double could never do, which is play any mage except for Sona correctly.
It's not even a mage.
Yeah, I
but
know.
that's Sona. So
It was
Yeah, it
Sona
was like-
Tarek.
When they ran, was it Sona Tarek or Sona Seraphine at that point?
It was Sona
Yeah.
Tarek.
Yeah.
They were like the best in the whole world on it.
Oh
They
my
could have them
gosh.
in like MSI and stuff.
I do remember
It was
that.
actually taking names with that combo, right?
so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I was just very surprised that they pulled it off. They also finally pulled off the no damage comp. The no scale, not no damage, the no scaling comp, where it was like Lee Sin, Ziggs, blah blah blah. Like everyone just did not scale to late, and they
Well, Ziggs
absolutely
scales. Yeah.
He scales, but he can't scale if everyone around him is just doing nothing. Like he wants to have space to do his stuff. He does scale very well, actually. I think that the casters were a little like spinning a narrative when they said literally like no scaling to late. I'm like, Ziggs one taps the turret, dude.
Yeah,
This
it's
goes
true.
pretty hard.
And like
Yeah.
that ult into follow up from like a what was the jungle of that game? It was like Sedge ult into Ziggs ult, and they're just like one tapping people from across the map. That was sick. So they've been trying versions of this all split long, and they finally got something to work twice. I will say, before we get to Alistar's point, it is just against C9, guys. Like Jensen looked great, but it was against Perks, guys.
Oh yeah, it's just
yeah.
perks.
Just
Whatever.
perks.
Still didn't end because it was against Sven, guys. Like I'm not, especially the last point against Sven. Like
Oh yeah.
Sven got Varus multiple times, and there was like games where like Zen was just not poking. Like you would see Tactic getting died, but why was he full health in a 2v1? Like riddle me that. So yeah, I think C9's probably still gonna win in the lower bracket their first match, but they're not gonna look great doing it. It's
Not
gonna be
like this, no.
annoying to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a style of TL we have not seen in a while, right? I mean, and I think that is kind of what took Cloud9 off guard, because you think TL, you think the 40-minute they outplay you in team fights, or they play side lanes or something like that. Like they go for longer games, and if you look at a lot of their drafts, they're playing really fast and really hard. Like Jace, Lee Sin, Sedge,
Yep.
Renekton, Sedge, Lee Sin. Like they're
Even Syndra. Yep.
yeah, like they're playing for early game, and the 3 games they won, the longest game was 19 minutes, or sorry, 29 minutes.
29,
I was
yeah.
like, whoa.
The only
Yeah.
the only game they lost went to 42 minutes.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So maybe that caught C9 off guard. I don't know, but I mean, it is definitely noteworthy.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a strategy, that they planned, we're going to commit really hard to, because you saw it in Santorin's pathing a lot. Again, really committing to that mid lane gank on the perks, really trying to shut him down. And as a result, we want to talk about perks because we know he hasn't been playing well. He's been getting a lot of
No.
flack in the community.
It's
And
like so badly.
And I think that the fact that they picked on him in the mid lane to make sure that he wouldn't get any kind of momentum or steam or confidence, I thought that was really cool. So let's go to the perks, this perks story. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead,
I do
Alistair.
want to say one thing. It's kind of crazy how Team Liquid plays pretty well with supportive style jungler, huh?
It's
yeah.
true.
Doesn't it remind you of a certain
2
guy?
Sejuani games, a Trundle game.
I know.
I don't know,
Whipping a Sejuani
it reminds me
ulti?
of someone. I can't remember who.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
It's
he
like
also played for Steel G at one point. I don't know.
I
And
don't know.
Immortals and all the teams that did really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xmithy Light.
Every
Actually,
single
I don't know
time.
If it's Xmithy Light, it might even be better than Xmithy in certain aspects, because I do feel like whenever Xmithy played Lee Sin, because he did play a lot of Lee Sin too, it was a very like controlled style. But I do feel like Santorin is kind of nuts. He's kind of a carry Lee Sin player for sure when he played that
For
one
sure.
game.
Yeah.
So.
Santorin's more versatile than Xmithy, but the way
Yeah.
Xmithy played was just so good.
Yeah.
I like he was extremely good at it.
I'm excited for Santorin because it's like he obviously is really good at that supportive style. He played it well in FlyQuest too. And I wonder if like we get to international, they figure out, hey Santorin, you can't play a supportive style. We need you to carry, because that's where Xmithy always faltered, right? It was like he can play the supportive style, but as soon as it's a carry jungle meta, TL falls apart. And I wonder if they're like, yo, what if we give you Diana, Lee Sin, and Viego, and Santorin just pops the hell off and gets a bunch of kills and actually carries the game? That's really exciting to think
Yeah,
about.
that is
Yeah,
cool.
it's really exciting. But yeah,
Well, what about
tangent.
perk? So
What
going back
about
to
perks?
the perks train now, where we were talking about how
What
yes,
about
they picked
perks?
on him. They picked on him. They made sure he didn't get any momentum going. But
Okay.
what's the problem here? What's he doing?
I just want to say, as much as I'm giving credit to Santorin, like, how many times you're gonna die to a level 3 gank mid lane? Like, dude, it's mid lane.
Yeah.
Like,
Alfari.
it's
Sorry, what?
Ah,
yeah,
Alfari.
Alfari did it last year, right? He died to the level 3 gank every game,
Yeah.
or the level 5. Like, I think if you full shove on a wave at like level 4 or 5 ish, you get caught on the recall. Like it. I swear to God, Perks did it every single
He
time
did.
where he's just dying to that same gank. Especially the Sindra ones too. Like, take cleanse if you can't dodge.
Yeah.
Like, for Pete's sake, man.
I mean, mid is easier to dodge ganks than though, especially
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
It's the easiest
and he was
lane
getting
too.
babysat, dude. There were 3 people from the C9 side mid very often.
Yeah.
They just didn't come at the right time.
Yeah.
They did save him once or twice, but like it was pretty bad, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perks is honestly stealing paychecks. Kevin was talking a bit about this before the podcast, but at what point do you just think like, dude, this guy sucks.
So I know
I don't want to pay this
that's
anymore.
and we've seen this like over and over again, right? We call
I
this
don't wanna pay them,
the
man.
retirement home. They get a paycheck and just this is where players just come to die. And it's almost as if they're playing our game. Like they're playing it for us. Like we know you're going to sign me or like they know we're going to sign them. And honestly, the standards are so low here. It's like, yeah, okay, that's kind of what's going to happen. Do you think that's what's happening here, Kevin?
I think in his case that's true, but I would actually argue there are, in at least recent last couple years, there are more cases of people not stealing paychecks than stealing paychecks. Bang, stealing paychecks. But in fact,
Yeah.
not stealing paychecks.
No, that's true.
JJ not stealing paychecks. We have literally on Team Liquid alone. Core JJ's not stealing. Santorin, well, he's been here a while, but he's not stealing. Alfari, I think, was playing pretty hard, like for a while now.
Yeah.
And some days been here forever, like on garbage teams at times. It's still been
Well,
playing
I think
well.
I
This
think the
split, he's
difference
not
with those
playing
players,
well.
they've been here a while. I think
Yeah.
like, the recent import, the recent big imports, with the exception of Alfari, have all been doing that.
But
For
Alfari
the
is
most
one of the only recent like major imports as of late. Like PoE's been here a while. Like who's been recent? We have Alfari and Perks.
Oh,
there was Crown,
Jizuke.
like 2 years ago.
Crown's the same era as
Crown was definitely
Core
stealing
JJ and
paychecks.
stuff. Crown was
Uh,
2 years after Core, I think.
Yeah.
Core came
Crown was
season 8.
after Core?
I'm pretty
Oh, you
sure
might have
Crown.
been. Either way, that is true. But I'm just saying, like, there are a lot of good examples, and partially it's because they're still around if they're good examples.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of good examples as of late. Like PoE's been around for a decent amount of time, but like, he was very good while here. Sven has been decent. I'm not gonna say Sven's terrible. I just don't think he's
Sven's pretty bad. I don't know.
I don't think the man's stealing paychechks though. I don't think.
I think
Yeah.
he's trying his best. I just think
He's
that
almost there, but I think he's good enough. Like, realistically, he's top 3, right? He's like.
I think he's trying his best. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
He's trying his best. Just your paychecks are trying his best. Period.
I
I don't know. He's just trying his best not to go to Worlds. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Hey, no sneaky,
He's
no
really
worlds,
trying.
guys. No sneaky, no worlds.
just gonna say
I'm
that
not
I
even
don't think-
joking.
I think there are a lot of NA success stories now, like after a
I
couple
agree.
years now, and we're getting there. It's just that there's like some of these headliner ones where we spend like 11 million on perks or 2 million on Huni, who are okay. Admittedly, Huni's decent, but like when he signed him for 2 point whatever million, he was not $2 million worth of player. Like what the?
I
heck?
think
Yeah.
TSM's getting a steal right now because
Yeah.
they, people were overpaying him and he didn't perform. Now he was getting that, veteran minimum and he's been outperforming. So kudos to TSM getting some, get some ROI off of
I have no
that.
idea what happened with
I-
the EG contract.
I-
anyways.
Yeah.
I really think, like, dude, environment has to have such a
Oh,
massive influence.
absolutely.
Like, when you're grinding this game and it is your entire life, like, not even just that, like, just like the after game, after work, sort of
Mhm.
just total atmosphere, environment combined, like, must have such a big deal. Cause like, I know we're gonna say this, and I know there's no way to prove it, and everyone's gonna be like, but look how crap Perks is. I promise you, if you send Perks back to EU, like, I bet he looks like a god. Give it like
I
in a
agree.
year.
Yeah.
Like in a year, that dude looks like a god again. Like that's just like C9 must have a terrible. Honestly, you put Blabber on a different top team, I bet he looks like a god again. Like there must be
Wow.
something about the atmosphere on C9. Like I I can't believe Perks is just this bad. I really can't. And it's not
It's so unbelievable. Like what
it
the?
is. It
I mean,
is.
Yeah.
to be fair, the mid jungle duo is probably one of the most important like synergies, and
Yeah.
they're both playing like trash. So it's
Yeah.
like one feeds off the other.
Definitely.
To be fair,
I mean, I felt like, and the thing is like I don't think anyone really played stellar on C9. Like there was just nothing. Like if you put them head to head on every like matchup, like I
Yeah.
think Team Liquid just outshines all of C9 like in
Well,
every
I think
piece.
Vulcan did a good job of recognizing what Game 4 was about and being on the
Right.
map 24/7. I
True.
mean, he didn't play terribly. I'll also say Fudge, I mean, he's going to get memed on. I mean, we got to talk about it, right?
The freeze?
Freeze until next game, right?
Let's go.
Like, freeze till next game.
New
But I'm
strat.
gonna, like,
Oh man.
yeah, and it's like, yeah, obviously he shouldn't have frozen.
Yeah.
That's just obvious, right? But then you have to think about it's like, all right, so should the team be playing around your best player Fudge and let him
Mhm.
freeze to get into the game, or should Fudge be breaking the freeze and shoving it so he can apply pressure and TP to other places and help his inting team? It's always gonna be a hard
Yeah.
question to answer, and I honestly, as terrible as it sounds, I really think C9 should have just AFK'd. Sven, you're gonna go down 40 CS, so Fudge can go up in CS. Like
Yeah.
that's maybe
I
they should have
agree.
made that choice. Like
I think the freeze was good. I think everyone else. I think the issue wasn't Fudge freezing. I think the issue is everyone else dying while he's freezing.
yeah, yeah.
And that's
like,
gotta
That's
be
definitely a way to look
that's
at it.
gotta
It's
be like a
very
team.
simple call.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a team call too. Like we're not sure if like the team was like no, just stay, freeze, or what, or if it's his call. Either way, like I mean, you're right. Like we don't know what the strategy was behind it. Obviously, if he was the one that made that call, it wasn't the right one. But
I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, right? Like if I'm freezing top lane, what it's gonna do is I'm stuck. There's this entire lane that is completely up to Fudge, right?
yeah,
And so that's entire lane of minions that they're not getting golden XP and they're sharing golden XP around the map.
yeah,
So as long as C9 doesn't let TL get the extra, that like make use of the man advantage, because that's their advantage. They're trading man advantage for golden XP.
yep,
So if they
Yep.
don't die, that's a complete win for them, right?
exactly.
Obviously, they didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
That's not exactly what they did. Yeah,
I mean, hedging on or appending onto what Mitch was talking about team environment, like it's got to be something about like no one's confident enough to say something, or they just don't drill it in practice. Like it's not a wrong play per se. Like we do meme on it, how ineffective it was. It was largely just because like Liquid identified like, hey, we can't just sit around an AFK farm against that. We gotta punish that, and they did, and they weren't afraid to like take like a lot of like man advantage plays or dives or whatever pressure plays. They were all over C9 during the wins, and even on the loss, like they were able to come back when they had no business doing it, which was like C9 not playing well to close out the game.
Yeah.
If you guys watched the pre-game interview, EG Contracts, I think it was him talking. I honestly don't remember faces that well, but I'm pretty sure it was EG Contracts. Was talking about it was EG. He was talking with Medios and some interview about how bad his team environment was on GGS and like why that completely broke him after he left C9. Like he just felt depressed. Like they literally didn't have an actual official, like a real working coach for Shell.
Oh man,
I remember that.
It was so depressing to hear. And he's just like, yeah, after coming to EG, like I actually got the chance to like build confidence again, like get coach, learn, work with people who want to learn. And
Wow.
I'm like, I was like, what's going on over there? So like, honestly, it is possible. Like for all the respect you give Rain over us, I think he's the head coach right now, and Mithy and everything. Like, sure, we can give him respect, but at the same time, they just might not be the right coach for the right team. Like they can still be good, but they just might not be anywhere close to effective on their current team. Because right now, C9 just the same old C9. There's too much talent. Like if your rookie is one of your best players, that is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Like that's great, but if you're doing poorly and your rookie is one of your best players, that's a huge problem. It's like he's just like, why are you guys all tilting and like not playing? And then everyone else is just like,
that's true, but it also could just be an overall organization thing. Like, I don't follow other sports, So there's a shot in the dark. But like if Cloud9's, they're supposed to be like a top tier org, right? Like
Mhm.
they're supposed to be, top 1, top 2, or like top 3 ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't been that, so there could just be a pressure from like the organization itself.
Yeah.
But
Because
they
Yeah.
got
True.
one last split, man.
like we sit here and like we flame CLG or we flame Dig, and it's like we're not flaming the coaches. We're flaming the org itself, and
Yeah,
maybe that's
sure.
Cloud9's issue now. I don't know, but I mean,
Yeah, like to
it's
dive
possible.
into the details of what that even means. It's like, so let's say Rainover is the coach of C9 and he has a certain way of doing it, and it's like maybe it's a slow, methodical way, and Jack or some other guy is like, no, we need wins now, and
Mhm.
it actually just hurts them even more, right? Or if you look at it like, I don't know, Team Liquid, right? They got rid of Jat. Everyone was super hyped about having Jat as a coach. They didn't win in summer. They kicked Doublelift. They didn't win in spring, and they had a bunch of roster changes where they switched out
Yeah.
Greg, and Alfari, and Santorin, and Jenkins, and everything. They kick Jat out, and they're like, we're listening to maybe the players and saying, hey, we don't like Jat as a coach, or maybe Jat's not a good fit, and we're realizing that. They let Cold in, and it's like the organization is actually going with the player needs and
Mhm.
realizing that, hey, Jat was a good fit, and Cold maybe is more open or listening or creating a better environment. We don't know what these things are, but like I think it really has to do with like, because when we say org, we're actually meaning groups of people, and these groups of people are human beings who say words and have choices, right? So
Mhm.
it's like, what do these things do? Like I think looking into that is really interesting, right? So
Yeah.
um, yeah.
No, I think I agree. Like, it's always going to be environment's always going to play a part in it, and winning and losing can really affect that environment. And the way things have been going, this has done two things to both of these teams. For TL, definitely boosted confidence. Like, we're back, baby. Like, we are looking really good right now, especially with Santorin back in. And for C9, the very opposite. The fact that they couldn't make this even look competitive is scary, and I think will even add on to the momentum of them kind of going down. Hopefully they
Dude,
can sort things out, but
rest in peace, Crabbers, man. Poor Crabbers. Like,
yeah.
I swear to God, Scuttle Crab at MSI broke this man. Like, Blabber just, I
Ah,
don't
poor
know, man.
guy.
It's so sad.
Yeah,
He's just a shell of his former self.
yeah,
This should be his perfect meta. This is the perfect Blabber meta. It's just
yeah,
carry champs after carry champs, and
yeah.
poor guy.
Well, let's move on to the other series that was EG beating Dignitas. I mean, not much to say here. I think we all expected that. Nothing out of the ordinary. Is there anything you guys wanted to say specifically? I mean, about this series, it was pretty cut and dry, honestly.
Um, I mean, I always have a lot to say,
Sure,
but
go
I
ahead.
would EG. I mean, they played contracts all 4 games, right?
Yeah.
Definitely noticed contracts jitters. So I think when they go up against 100 Thieves, they're gonna play Svenskeren.
Mm.
Because I don't know, I just noticed jitters, like just in mechanical play from contracts. You can kind of tell. I was
Why do you
like,
think? Why did they play him instead of Svenskeren?
uh, lots of reasons. Give him stage time practice so they can do. I think Alistair mentioned last podcast, 6-man rosters can be very valuable.
Probably just, I guess, because they're figuring that the competition isn't going to be
Yeah,
that bad, and they can get
yeah,
that.
against
Yeah,
Dig.
good point.
And hide. Maybe Svenskeren wanted to break. Maybe hide him.
True.
Maybe all sorts of reasons. But yeah, that's just something I noticed as a
Hmm.
jungler. Just contracts had some nerves
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was impressive that Dignitas even took the game. Like I think we all predicted down the board 3-0.
Yep.
Hmm.
Everybody
Obviously,
I
the game they
predicted
took was
3-1.
extremely close.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Well done.
Because he said Jizuke. Did you say Jizuke
I
too?
said we're gonna get a Jizuke.
And we did. I think he was
Alright, that's
on.
fair.
He was on
Me
a
as
Zir.
well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is your. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that like they play contracts for the same reasons you guys.
Oh,
also
they
mentioned.
gave Aurelia. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, don't give
Yeah.
Aurelia, guys. Don't do that.
You see, he finally had a pop-off game for like once in his whole career. Good job.
Mhm.
man. Anyway, I think that like they wanted to practice with contracts, get him stage time. He's a young player, man. The guy's only played. I don't think he's ever started for a roster. Like
He
good
started for
roster.
C9 like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Oh, he
Or-
did for a hot second, I
Was he
think.
not splitting?
Yeah,
In, like,
remember he went to.
2017.
I think it was. Yeah, it was
He
2017.
did go to Worlds, didn't he?
He
did,
went to
yeah.
Worlds. I remember there's a very famous clip of Faker like 1v3ing C9 with like contracts and Jensen and
Oh
everything.
no, that's
You're
not
right,
Watched
good.
it a couple
There
of
was one year
times
he
of
was
them
a
getting
sniper
outplayed at
jungler.
Worlds.
That's
He's a jungle prodigy, and then they.
yeah.
Okay, I remember.
He
Now.
was the first blabber. Honestly, he really was.
And they did the normal C9 thing where they get a good player and then they sell them off for a high price and they don't look good anymore.
Yep.
Mhm.
I will say that it is kind of meh that's how C9 like it is impressive they keep on getting great players like that, but it's also like, are you really like, are you telling your investors like we're trying to go long term and like become like a really strong team that actually wins, or are you trying to tell them like we can make you a quick buck and we'll like try to market it as like we're good at developing talent? I don't know. I'm a little bit on like on the fence about it. In the past, I think there were some decent deals that C9 let people off on. I think as of late, people are like the buyouts for these people are pretty high. I don't remember if it's public or not, but I know there was at least speculation of that. So I don't know. I will say that at the end of the day, C9 won 2 splits in
Yeah.
the last 4 or 3.
Yep.
They haven't lost this one technically, so it's pretty good still. Like despite
It is
all the
pretty
playing
good.
they give them.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, just like yes, it's like some people, definitely lots of people think like Jack is scummy. He just gets these players, trains them up, sells them for a big profit. I mean, it's just business, right? And we can go into that conversation of business. That's not the conversation I want to go to. The one I want to bring up is like these players get really good on C9 and then they go off and they stay in NA and I think they raise the level of talent in NA. I mean, Svenskerin's clearly really good
Yeah.
on EG. Contracts is clearly really good still, right? Other play like Niski went on to Fnatic and he's probably their best player on Fnatic. Like C9 does a good job of training up these players and like they're still good. I mean, Meteos is
know.
retired, but I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Meteos didn't look the same after C9. Smoothie, like I don't know. I feel like there's been more. I mean, I guess it's not as recent, but like there's been
Licorice
so
was
many
kind of an up
players.
and down. You know, he's had a
Mhm.
bad split, he had a good split. I mean, yeah, there's cases for both, right? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a good talk on EG and Dignitas there. We ended up
Yeah,
talking about
sorry,
C9 again. I was like laughing at how the conversation somehow trickled right back to C9.
Let me just say something about Dig then, before we move on. All right, before we move
Poor
on, because we literally
Dignitas.
we said nothing about Dignitas.
Okay.
I think Fake God is not playoff ready. For sure, he played really poorly. It was kind of unfortunate. I still think he's a great guy with a lot of potential. Honestly, when I see his regular season games, I'm like, yeah, this guy's got this is good. He's got potential.
Yeah.
But oh my god, that was a top gap. Um,
Yeah.
also
I have
Yasui.
something to say about that after.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this last thing, and then you go. Right, Yasui is hot garbage. All right, he got
He's
the most
hot
broken
garbage.
champion in the game in Aurelia, and
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, he got a lot of kills and he did a lot of damage because the champ's broken, but he played that like crap. I don't play Aurelia. I could have played it better. I genuinely could have made better decisions. Like he wasn't going for Q resets and he was whiffing E's and he was going for one man ultis. I'm like, dude, this is not how you play Aurelia.
That's kind of
He was-
important, those
He was
things.
quick. He was quick tapping W too. I'm like, dude, that's not how you play Aurelia. Oh my god, yeah. So he's not. I don't want to see Yusui anymore. I don't think. Maybe he deserves a chance still. I don't know. I don't think he's playoff ready at all, though. I don't like him, and I don't think a lot of people like him, honestly. So yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I still don't know what's going on over there. Anyways.
I would have
with
preferred
him.
Soligo.
Yeah.
Whole year,
Same.
whole
Same.
time.
Same
Yeah.
They could
thing.
have slipped him in at any time. They didn't even try.
Yeah. I don't.
They would keep losing.
So I don't know what's going on with that work. So. All right.
I just wanted to mention how hard the LCS flamed Fake God. Did you guys see that graphic?
Oh
I
my
did.
god.
Oh, I forgot about it. Yes, I did.
Oh, that was so toxic, man. That was. Oh.
That was intentional.
So
Someone
what happened? I didn't. So
they,
you
they
gotta.
threw up a graphic of like career achievements. It's
Uh-huh.
like impacts, like world champion, won LCS 6 times. This finalist,
I already
this
know where
fin-
this is going.
Such finalist, and then
No,
Fake God's like 2 times LCS qualifier.
He's made it
It
to
was
playoff
bad,
twice.
bro. It was
Yeah.
it
The
was
threat was
so
titled,
toxic.
Fake God getting bullied by LCS, and yeah.
Why they gotta do to man like that?
Does not deserve that. He's not terrible.
I
He's
know.
not great.
He did not deserve that.
No, I
Damn.
mean compared to Impact, like you don't deserve that. Like, Christ.
Like if you put like a new rookie who's really good, like tactical in his first season or whatever, and then you put him up against like double it, and you're like, Why is he so much worse? Look at this.
Exactly. Look at this. He'll never measure up, this guy.
Yeah.
Look at that. The stats don't lie. I mean,
Yeah.
it was on purpose. It was
Yeah.
100% on purpose to make things a little spicier. In my opinion at least, there's no reason they chose this matchup instead of actually who on their team? I guess Afro.
I mean,
Afro has the
yeah,
resume to put up there.
Afro has the big resume on Dignitas for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Afro versus
Yeah.
Ignore.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Afro versus
That would
that'd
be a
interesting.
reasonable comparison. Not
Yeah.
MSI finalist versus Worlds semifinalist or quarterfinalist or something. Yeah, that's like pretty good. Yeah.
And then, I mean, he's got enough of like achievements to at least like be put on a graph next to
Yeah.
Impact, one of the most
Yeah.
decorated players in our league.
Dude, honestly, Ignar is pretty nuts. Not gonna lie, I really liked him that series. Ignar is like, I mean, Ignar was nuts on FlyQuest, as in like just he. I don't think we say it enough. We don't talk about Ignar. This is the perfect team for him. Like on FlyQuest, you did have Santorin PoE who are kind of trying to chill out, hang out. You know, Solo's playing a bit of a tanky supportive. Ignar is going in, and EG is right in there with him.
Yeah.
They're just flying in there.
I
Yeah.
like his thrush. His thrush looks sweet. Actually,
Yeah,
anyone's thrush in there and looks awesome. My gosh.
Thresh is still a
So
great
good.
character. Like 7
Don't
seasons
leave
later.
open Thresh. I don't know
Yeah.
why you would ever leave
100%.
open Thresh.
All right. Well, hey, we got some games coming up this coming up week, so let's talk about them.
Oh, actually, can we talk
Let's
about
not
the
talk
meta?
about them. Yeah, let's talk about the meta.
Yeah. There. We're gonna talk about Thresh. I want to ask Alistair. Actually, this came up I think in LCK and LEC, or I think in all the regions. But so Aphelios Thresh, really strong lane, one of the most broken. People are early picking it even, right? But people have been playing Jinx Braum into it. I've been noticing it's a very intentional, specific counter pick, and maybe not just Jinx Braum, but Braum with another ADC. Varus Braum too. Do you have any insight on why that's a thing?
So I can speak for the Jinx more than I can speak for the Braum, though I think Braum in general is just really good against champions like Aphelios, immobile, and on top of that he eats the chakrams.
Yeah.
It'll go through his shield. Two, his W is super good, and his just overall, I mean, it's Braum. Like Aphelios wants to be close to you to maximize chakram damage, and it gives you free reign with Braum. So that's likely the answer on that. But the thing with Jinx is, in my opinion, Jinx is the best blind pick AD carry in the game. I think she's the best AD carry in the game right now.
Huh.
I think she has been for a while. I think people got off the train because they lowered her base HP and increased trap. Man, people are offering. I'm spamming her in solo queue. I hit masters with her. I think she's still really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's also just like Jinx. Aphelios has a hard time getting lane prio, and Jinx, it's almost impossible to get it into. She'll outpush
Yeah.
Tristana. And Aphelios, who basically has no wave clear, Jinx just needs to rocket the backline 3 times, and she just lane push now.
Okay.
Also, Jinx has a good laning phase. So does Aphelios. Jinx just wins.
Yeah, it just lines up. I imagine the range, if Aphelios doesn't have sniper gun, I mean the range is just also really in Jinx's favor. The traps are also pretty annoying if you have chakrams and you're trying to get in melee. I'm sure it's really annoying to get out on traps. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. I always found that like Thresh kind of craps on Braum, in my opinion, because you just win the level 1 super hard with autos. You can flame out of his W, and you can like Lantern outplay Braum a lot, so I don't know. But I found
It's
it
the other way
interesting.
around.
It's the other
I
way
think
around?
Braum beats Thresh.
Interesting. I guess if you land the Q, you just kill him, right? So maybe
Because
that's why.
the thing with Thresh is more of a, especially Thresh Aphelios. That's a lane that wants to kill. It's like Caitlyn Thresh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's
You
very,
want to kill
very
them.
similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Braum just kind of stops that. I mean, like, it's so infuriating playing against a Braum in lane because he can turn fights so well. His Q does insane amount of damage, and his his passive is crazy utility. On top of that, you get so much free resistances and a shield that's like budget wind wall that moves around. So Thresh can't really do anything. The best he can do is roam with that, Braum is still favored in like 3v3s.
Okay.
Like skirmishes topside. Braum's better for diving. It's just Braum just wins that.
All right.
That's news
It's
to
been a
me.
while since we've seen Braum so much. We
Yeah.
only see Nautilus and Alistair and Leona, so Braum would be cool to see
That
some
would
more. I
be.
think I mean, his Q is broken. It's like 90 level 1 or something. It's so broken.
It's
Jeez.
insane, and max
Yeah.
health
I mean,
damage too.
I think it's
Yeah.
fine because he has like 1.5 damage spells. Like
Yeah,
that's
Still, that stuff hurts, man. You get hit by 2 of those, like, where's my HP, dude? Like, what the hell?
It's okay. It could be worse. It could be Leona passive.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leona does that
gosh.
for free. So like let's like
Mm.
curb our damage. See, Braum has the least pentakills in the game for a reason.
But at least Thresh craps on Leona, so there you go. Can never pick Leona if Thresh is up.
There you
so.
go.
Maybe Yumi has the least now. Anyways, yeah.
All right. Well, do you guys want to talk about? Is there anything else that we should?
That's all I wanted to hear about.
All right, all right.
Series to go
Personal.
through,
Yeah, so I
guys,
saw this
so if you want to be here,
Okay. So I guess we can talk about the games that are coming up. Let's
I'll
starting on Thursday. I mean, honestly, some of these games are. We don't. I mean, okay. I mean, Immortals Dignitas. I mean, who even cares? Like I know.
want Immortals
I
to
do.
win
I
that
want to
one.
watch that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
all
want
right.
Immortals
Well,
to
then
win
let's
that
go. We're predicting then.
Okay.
Go ahead. Immortals Dignitas. Go ahead, Mitchell.
You know what? I want Immortals to win. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no idea who's gonna be better. They have both been so wildly inconsistent.
Yes.
I don't really know. So I'm just gonna vote Immortals because I like them better. That's
Yeah.
gonna be it. I really like Revenge. Revenge is cool. Yeah, I'm actually disappointed Dignitas they didn't play Kane at all, even though that was like
yeah.
Acadian's thing, right? Like I remember there was that tweet Svenskeren was like, "I dare you to play Kane into me," and then EG banned Kane anyways. It didn't even show up in the series at all. So I hope I hope just Revenge and like Immortals and Dignitas they play their champion. Like I hope Xerxes plays Gragas. Just even though he's not super meta, like that's just a Xerxes champion.
Yeah.
I like it when teams they play their specialty. Like I want Immortals to play Draven also, because that's just an Immortals thing. So
Mhm.
I love watching
Yep.
Draven.
yeah, especially
I will say, I think teams are a little traumatized from Kane, the
Yeah.
25-minute
Oh my gosh,
transformation.
yeah.
'Cause, like he's a very good solo queue champ, but in
how
competitive,
far
it's so
Spica
easy
has
to just-
grown.
it's just so
Never
easy to avoid
forget.
him and make him useless.
Yeah, that's true. It is easy to make him use, especially if like you're playing against like a Lee Sin or something or a Volley Bear. It's gonna be scary.
So what are your game numbers for this one?
I'm gonna go 3-2 Immortals. I think this actually will be a freaking banger close one. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see
a
that.
lot of rookies on both sides.
Are we predicting player of the series, or do you guys? Because we couldn't figure out who got player of the series
I think
last
we
time.
may as well, just in
And-
case it shows up.
All right.
Yeah, see if we
Might as
find
well
it.
just give a nod to them either way. It's not hard.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so my player of the series for Immortals will be. All right, who's on their team again? No, I'm just kidding.
Woo!
good sign.
That's a great sign. Yes, it's gonna be a hype match, y'all.
You know what?
Can't
I'm
wait.
gonna go Xerxes. I'm gonna give it
Okay.
to Xerxes. Xerxes is the veteran. He's the one with a lot of like experience and success. So I'm gonna go with Xerxes. I think he's gonna pop off.
Okay.
I want him to pop off. I think he's always been a great player.
Cool.
Okay, that's fair. I also think Immortals is going to win. I think that if you only look at Summer alone, Immortals has the better record than Dignitas. They have one more win, so it's not by much. But I think that they overall have they've taken some pretty big wins. Most recently, they did beat Dignitas in their last showing, which might not matter at all. C9 was like 5-0 or something on the regular season against Liquid, and see how that worked out. If they play Saligo on Dignitas, then I would have a whole different vote. But I honestly think Yusui is just like he's the same black hole that Damonte was on 100 Thieves, and I think Damonte was better than Yusui, so it's not a great thing. I think it's a 3-1. I think it's Immortals. I would say it would be even closer if I thought that Dignitas was a more reliable, stable team that just could not punch up. But they're not really that stable, so I feel like they'll collapse as they lose.
Okay. Well, who's your who did you say your?
So my player of the series, I think, is going to be Destiny.
Okay.
Destiny, really?
Yeah, I think that when he's winning, he looks really cool, good on his hook characters. I was gonna say which one, but I'm he plays multiple, but that's the one where he'll stand out. There's a lot of the meta, at least in the playoffs so far, for the TL game was roaming, and so I'd like to see that. I don't know if he's actually very good at it. He's in my memory he's okay at it, but
Mm.
I'd put it there. I don't really have that many chips on the other roles, relatively speaking.
Okay. All right, Alistair, what you got?
I'm also going 3-1 IMT. I'm gonna go Revenge though.
Hey.
Nice.
I
I'm
think Revenge has definitely been a player that hasn't been getting enough credit.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's kind of been a sleeper just because there's been, a lot of top laners to talk about. But yeah, okay. I'm the same way, 3-1 Immortals, and I have Xerxes.
I thought
Honestly,
somebody was gonna vote Dignitas here, to be honest, because during the seeding and everything.
yeah, I don't know. Like, it just that team. I lost hope on that team when they got rid of Dardoch, and then they took Saligo. I just don't know what they were doing. I was like, I don't really have faith in them anymore. Anyways, let's go to the next series, which is Golden Guardians versus C9. Does anybody going first? I mean,
I so want to predict
I'm
a
in the
very
same boat.
I really want to.
I really want to.
dude,
I
what
really want to.
if Golden Guardians beat Cloud9?
I
How
want-
demoralized? How much flack would Perks get if Golden Guardians beat Cloud9?
Dude.
Like 3x of Golden Guardians' whole roster.
That
combined.
would
I
be
know,
so
man.
Dude,
funny.
I want to vote Golden Guardians
I
so
do
bad.
too.
I
I-
really want them to win.
Do
I think it'd
it.
be so funny.
I
Take a-
think it would
take
be
a
funny,
chance.
and there's like a world where like it really could happen. Like C9 is playing like
There's
such
a world.
crap, and Golden Guardians is really not that bad. I mean, they're not obviously top tier, and like a lot of them, I feel like they got a lot of wins of people underestimating them,
Yeah.
and them just playing a crazy early game style. But like, dude, the perks I saw this weekend could get mid gapped by a Blaze Olive. No joke, no
Oh,
cap. Like
gosh.
Oh,
that
yeah,
perk, specific
that's
perks.
realistic.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get mid gapped by a Blaze Olive. And a Blaze Olive's decent, like.
Blabber and Iconic. I think Iconic's better right now, man. I think Iconic's good, man. I don't know.
I think Iconic's pretty good. Dude, it's just like you also like you can't bet on. It's hard to bet on people who've never been in playoffs in like LCS, and it's like, how many nerves does Iconic and Blaze Olive have when they're staring down perks, right?
Yeah.
Like, do they have
That's
nerves?
true.
I don't know. If they don't, the game is not too far off. But like, I do tend to in these playoffs matches, I do tend to like, give more to the veterans. All right, I'm gonna go C9.
Okay.
I think I want to win predictions, especially in playoffs. I've been kind of inting it throughout the year.
Cam Mitchell can play. What are your games?
Dude, it's not gonna be 3-2, is it? No, it's gonna be 3-1. It's gonna be 3-1 C9. It might even be 3-0, but I'm gonna give Golden Guardians a game.
Okay.
I think the series is gonna be a lot closer than it should be. I think we're gonna come out of it with C9 winning, and everybody's still disappointed for some reason. I think Perks will actually start to play well, because he's just not gonna be. He's gonna be playing against a worse mid, and a Blaze Olive will play well still too, but I think Perks will just be more confident playing into that. He'll get
Okay.
away with a lot more mistakes too, and he'll look like a god for some reason.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "Is playoff Perks back?" He's like, "No, you're just playing against a team who didn't punish hard enough."
Or maybe
I-
they'll take a page out of Team Liquid's playbook.
They
They were
should.
smart,
They
yeah.
play early,
Should.
aggro. It's the
Camp that
meta.
mid.
Can
Yep.
they do it though? Like, do they have enough skill? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Um,
Execution is another.
They did play
Another thing.
Renekton Talia game 4 and kind of shit the bed or pooped the
Yeah.
bed.
For sure.
I unapologetically would pick Cloud9 here. I want to vote for Golden Guardians in some ways, but there's just not enough there.
Yeah.
They had somewhat of a rally toward the end, but they puttered out. I think Blabber is so much better than Iconic. As much as I hate him, I think. he is so much better.
Hey, the truth comes out. He does hate Blaffer.
The truth comes out every week. I'm like, this is like the dumbest jungler to be this good at them. And like then you
Hell
watch
yeah.
it fall, and I'm like, what did I tell you guys? Like you watch it, I'm like, yeah, I wasn't even surprised. I was like, yeah, that sounds normal to me.
Guys, I know the next Reddit highlight headline. Kevin Shee from the All Ed podcast hates Blabber.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think, but I've always acknowledged like he's still good though, like especially in his metas, and like as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned, like we watched that Shinzao game where like he just like abused Shinzao to the max and just beat Liquid with 2 health bars.
Yeah.
I think the guy's still good,
Stupid
much
champion.
better than Iconic. I think Iconic just, especially because he has no playoff experience. Like, there's no way I can vote for that. I think it should be a 3-0 or 3-1. I would go for a 3-1, just
3-1.
because they have been outdrafted, and we saw the blueprint of like what they're weak at, which is apparently not playing toward their top side. Maybe they'll adjust. Will they adjust for Golden Guardians though? I would think no. Honestly, I would think they might actually be confident enough to like play like their second tier strats, like the ones that they want to use, but not their like secret strats that they're adapting. So they might just play like they did last week.
All right. Who's your player of the series?
I think my player of the series
I
will
didn't say mine.
be Fudge.
Fudge. All right.
Fudge.
What about yours, Mitchell?
Yeah, I'm going Fudge too. I
Fudge
think
too.
it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
I feel like Fudge is just
Like
I don't
Licorice
know.
is back a bit, but like at the same time, like whenever he gets gapped hard, and like there's someone on the other side. Too, so.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Fudge or Perks. I think it'll be Fudge, but it's gonna be Fudge or Perks. I think they're just gonna like not be pressured nearly as much as they were against TL and just pop off.
Yeah. All right.
Like it was still a 3-1 against Liquid, even though Liquid was looking insane. Like that's something to keep in mind when we're rating Golden Guardians here.
Yeah. Okay, Alistair, what you got?
Okay, so don't get me wrong, right? It's gonna be 3-0 C9.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still gonna say 3-2 Golden Guardians just because I feel like it.
So you're saying C2. You're
Translation,
saying
because he can't win
3-2.
predictions this split,
That's
which
true.
is-
He's just throwing it away.
I don't care. I don't pay attention.
Dude, oh
If
my
I cared,
god.
I wouldn't do this every week.
God,
Yeah.
we didn't make a
Should've won one of
punishment.
these
We should have made a
splits.
punishment. That's what it was.
We should have made a punishment.
There was nothing at stake. That's what we need
I bought a
to.
C9 jersey this year, so you
That's
know what?
true.
Someone else has got to get punched at some point.
Alright, loser.
All right.
Outside.
That's gonna be.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe you guys can let us know in the Discord what the punishment should be.
I got one. Okay, loser has to. I mean, we can make it super because we didn't agree upon it at the beginning of the split. But loser just has to say on podcast, CLG is my favorite team or something stupid like that.
All right, I'll do it.
Lord.
But secretly, I love CLG. I'm just kidding. Oh wait, no. Who was your player of the game, Alistair, or player of the series?
I didn't think this far.
He just had to work up the courage to say Golden Guardians first.
I'll go licorice.
Okay. Oh my gosh, licorice. Okay.
Alright, directly opposed in our player of the game. So
Yeah, I am a 3-0 C9. Like unequivocally C9 3-0, and I think Perks.
Yeah.
I think Perks is gonna just kind of like the long line. Perks or Fudge. I'm just flipping the coin and saying Perks. Okay, EG versus 100 Thieves.
This is gonna be a really hard one
I
to
don't
predict.
know. I really don't know because this
I
is
don't know
this is
either.
the one where their paths intersect because EG wasn't doing so great in the beginning of the split and then all of a sudden at the end started doing well, whereas 100 Thieves did really well in the beginning and they kind of just started to go down towards the end. So they're kind of just meeting up now in the playoffs. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
All right,
Tell- tell me- tell me, Mitchell. No, I'm
I'll
just
go
kidding.
3. I'll go 3-1 EG. I'm gonna say Signar.
Wow. 3-1 EG.
I'll start it off.
Okay.
Okay.
3-1 EG. 3-1 EG.
Ignar.
I,
Who wants to go?
I was thinking about this for.
I'm ready whenever. I'm just waiting.
You go.
to see if-
Okay.
All right, I'll go. I think that, like, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty simple math. You guys said that one's going on an upward path, one's going on a downward path. They met, and like this seems like a really bad physics question. Like, which one is further up now? I would assume EG. So realistically, though, they're like 3-2 against them over the course of the year. I believe they're up like 2-1 this split, but I might be wrong. I think the MVP will be Impact, and I think it would be a 3-2 only because I think the 100 Thieves, while they are on a downward route, sure, I think in a best of 5 they could still like. Best of 5s are just a whole different beast. Like you could get Giga stopped 2 games in a row like Liquid did, and still like have a game 3 that you just lose or a game 4 you lose. So that's fine. I think Perks will, or not Perks. What did I say? Perks. I think Jizuki, another inconsistent mid laner, just won't have enough to like get a clean 3-1 or 3-0 in my mind. So I think it's a 3-2.
Okay.
I think Abadage is good, and especially in playoffs. That guy has been a beast for so long that I think he has a lot to prove, and he wants to go to Worlds. Probably a little bit more than Jizuke does.
Who did you say your player was? Player of the series?
My player was?
Yeah.
Because I wrote it Egypt, I said Impact. I don't know if I said it out loud or if I said it in my head, but I said Impact.
No, you said Impact. Actually,
Okay.
I forgot about Impact. Could you change mine to Impact?
Okay.
I forgot about Impact. I couldn't remember who the top laners were.
I was like, yeah, I mean, Impact's been extremely good.
Yeah, no, I
Playoff
forgot
Impact.
about
Like, I
Impact.
don't care what team he's on. This guy just shows up.
We should have no takebacks so that
No
once you say it,
takebacks.
it's yeah, no takebacks. Okay.
I'll take it. You know, I like to get the credit. I got the credit for the TL train for at least for League Dead on paper. So
That's true. Okay. All right, Mitchell, you ready?
No.
All right, I can go. Let me go.
You go.
Okay,
Yeah, you
I'll go.
You
Because
go.
I'm gonna go 3-1 EG. Just
Wow.
because I think EG is just fire right now. I think their confidence is picking up, and I also think, like, granted, I think Jizuke's confidence of himself is always high, but I think
yeah.
I think it's especially high right now, and I honestly think he might be our player of the series. That's what I'm gonna roll with. So 3-1 EG,
Whoa,
and
hold
I'm
on.
actually saying Jizuke. That's right. You heard it here first. I'm telling
Honestly,
you,
I think CLG's gonna win it. To be honest.
CLG's got it in the bag.
Jizuke is gonna rip off a seal and the CLG jersey underneath.
I mean, that's 100 Thieves wins then, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Abadagi is insane. FBI Huhi, I think, is the best bot lane. It's just dude. The only thing I would give EG, honestly, weirdly enough, is like the macro and like the decision making. But like I tend to, like, besides maybe top lane, give every matchup in favor to 100 Thieves. I think they have the better jungler in closer. I think they have the better mid laner in Abadagi. I think they have the better bot lane. I think Impact's the better top lane. Yet I do feel, I understand a lot why everybody's predicting EG. It just feels like their team plays better. It just feels like their meta read is better. It just feels like they push the tempo faster. And then 100 Thieves, as individually better they might be, they tend to throw randomly, weirdly. Yeah, no, I'm gonna go against it. I'm gonna go 100 Thieves. I think I'm gonna go 100
Whoa.
Thieves. I'm gonna go. Dude, I don't know. I'm gonna go 3-100 Thieves.
Wow.
This is kind of a crazy prediction.
This is
I'm doing, but
crazy.
I expected more people to go 100 Thieves. That's why I said EG at the beginning.
I think most people are on the EG hype train. But
Yeah.
dude, I don't know. I'm still gonna feel that weird thing that even if EG beats 100 Thieves, that I'm like, I still feel like 100 Thieves
Yeah.
should have won. I don't know. Like, it's weird. Like, they should be really good, and they are really good. It's just this last couple weeks they've been losing games to weird macro calls. They just make a couple weird calls in the end of the game. So I'm going 100 Thieves. I'm going 3-1. I'm going Abadage. And
Okay.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I'm gonna be that one.
Abadage.
We all have been predicting the same freaking teams all the whole time.
That's
The
what I'm
first new
saying,
one was
man.
Golden Guardians, you know. So
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna go different this time.
I mean, to each his own. I'm just trying to get the bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just here to win. I'm
I'm just here to win. I don't know any way else. Just kidding.
I am here. I know the league gods. Okay, the league gods. They're gonna, like, everyone's predicting Jizuke. It's time for him to int. They're pressing the int button
How
behind
far?
Jizuke's brain. They're gonna press it right here. It's right here. Time to int.
Honestly, I won't be surprised if that happens, because it will happen at some point. I'm just hoping it's not this series yet, you know?
Yeah.
So let's go to the featured matchup, in my opinion. Kevin versus the League Dad. Team Liquid versus TSM.
Okay.
Yeah, it's me against you, man. Here's
I think me and Alistair should go first, and then you guys.
okay,
close it out,
okay, all right, you guys
No,
go.
I want to hear their arguments.
But
He wants
your
to.
arguments. Unless
Yeah.
your arguments, there's going to be, oh, well, I'm a TSM fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm genuinely
Give me some time to
curious.
think about it now. Damn.
Well, okay,
Alright.
I can go because I know. I can go.
Because
Alright.
I'll
Okay.
give Mitchell and I will go first.
Okay, all right, you guys go first. You guys go first, and me and Kevin will duke it out at the end. Go ahead, go.
I'll go quick. Okay, I'll
Alright.
go quick. I'm going Team Liquid, and I'm going 3-2.
Hell
Yeah,
You
I'm
are
going 3-2
so-
Team Liquid.
When I met you, I didn't know you were dumb. Like, I didn't know that.
I didn't know you were gonna say dumb.
When-
I thought you were gonna say, like, a...
when I saw you, you seemed like a smart guy, Mitchell. When I met you, I said we had some drinks, we got along, we were clubbing, doing some dancing, and here he is. I didn't know he was dumb, y'all. He's picking Team Liquid. What?
I was hanging out with you. Clearly,
Hey,
I have
man,
terrible taste
that's
in,
true.
in
I don't know.
company.
What were you doing? So you have 3-2 Team Liquid. Okay, at least you made it close. Who's your player here?
My player of the series is gonna be Huni. Just kidding, lol. Let's get it the joke because it's gonna be Alfari.
All right.
I think Alfari is gonna. I don't know. It might be Jensen, but I feel like Alfari is gonna pop off against Huni. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's been playing well too. He's
been playing really well.
He's dangerous,
and
man.
I've been noticing Santorin and CoreJJ are just like, we're going to top side this game. We're going to top side every game. We're gonna go mid lane.
Smart call.
And then the 4 of us are gonna go to top lane. Like they just all go up there.
I think that's a smart choice.
So I'm gonna go Alfari. Yeah.
All right, Alistair, what you got?
So I think it's gonna be 3-2.
It's gonna be close. It's gotta be.
It's definitely gonna be close, or it's gonna be a close 3-1. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go 3-2. I think I'm gonna go TSM.
Okay.
Look at his face. Look at this face right here. Alistair, me and you, man. You're my new best friend. Forget Mitchell. I'm gonna
to lose. I don't know what you're talking
You got
about.
baited so bad. You got baited. He's leaving. To the listeners of the podcast, the League Dad has left the building.
That's a classic TSM fan move.
Pardon my silence as I went into a room and locked myself in it for.
Oh, I feel bad. I saw the opportunity.
Now,
Every
time too. Like this literally happens every single episode. This is what happens. See, guys, let me PSA real quick. No, PSA. This is what today's youth is doing to their elders, right? They treat them like idiots. And I got got.
When I'm in North Carolina, I'll throw hands.
That's cool.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer.
I think I'm gonna go player of the series. I'll probably go Alfari.
Alfari.
I
think that's
a
pretty good choice.
I don't have the confidence in TSM. I think they're good, but I just don't. I always feel like they're good, but they're not the best. You know what I mean? And I'm not fully convinced TL's the best. I just always have a hard time going with TSM because they're just inconsistent, man. Like, I feel like it's hard to predict TSM unless you're a TSM fan.
This is, this is sounding a lot different from a couple episodes ago when you guys were just praising TSM. I guess because we saw.
This is what I said back then, didn't I? I said they're top tier, but they're not top tier because they're better. I don't think TSM's improved.
That's true. You have been consistent with that narrative there.
Also, I don't know if any of us predicted Santorin to actually come back and have a meteoric rise and just look like a freaking god.
Come back this year. We're just like,
I didn't either, and he looks really good. Like
that's true.
Really good. Like
that is
I've been wanting to see all year. So
that is kind of an X factor there, a big one. Well, let me go because obviously we know who Kevin's gonna pick. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Let me at least go for the other side because I'm tired of all this nonsense talk of Team Liquid winning this. So obviously I have this 3-2 or a close 3-1, but I say 3-2 TSM. For the reason that I think that you are going to see something. TSM's going to pull out some kind of strategy that Team Liquid hasn't seen because this is what Bjergsen's been cooking up. They're going to come out. They're going to execute it. Right? Here's what's going to happen. It's going to go 2 games TSM. Then it's going to go 2 games Team Liquid because they're going to counter it. And then at the end, Team TSM will win game 5 in some victorious weird pick, just like how CoreJJ picked. Yeah, or not that crazy, but like how, Shen's support was a thing with CoreJJ. I bet you something's going to happen. I just feel it, man. I know there's going to be something in there.
Give me the other River Shen. I want to see the other River Shen.
Hey, I'll take it. But that's how I think it's going to go down. 2-2-1, and then TSM winning it all. My MVP is gonna be Speak Up, just because I do think that on every other line item, maybe Team Liquid has the better person, but I think this is one area where Speak Up may have a chance here to.
But what if Santorin didn't have migraines, was in for the whole split? Would we still be saying Speaka's the best jungler
We'll
in
never
NA
know.
right now? We'll
We'll
never
never
know.
know.
But that's why there's so many Team Liquid voters, right? Because
Yeah.
if it wasn't for Santorin,
Yeah,
Spica
people would.
obviously be the
Yeah,
best jungler.
exactly. Because and if he wasn't in here now, if Santorin wasn't in here now, maybe you guys would.
I think we would all be TSM right now.
Yeah.
I think we would
agree.
all
I mean,
be
obviously
TSM.
part of this is
Most
recency
likely.
bias.
I have no confidence in our
for
Mayo.
Mitchell.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I'd like to get into it. Like, first of all, we don't know what Santorin's gonna show up. We don't know if his migraines will get
True.
worse. Like, honestly, it's just like very hard to tell, right? Because it's just not something he can fully control. He played out of his
It's
mind
true.
this week, and I would love to see that. Do I think it's gonna happen? Yeah, I do think it's gonna happen. I think that there's just literally line item by line item. Everyone on Liquid is better right now. Yeah, everyone is better. Period.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 3-0.
Oh, it's
You
gonna be a 3.
Did you say 3-0?
Of course.
That is some
He
Team
said,
Liquid
and he
confidence.
said, yeah,
I
of
mean,
course. Like,
I've been sitting here watching Armeo torture my boys week over week, and then they were
Dang.
unshackled. And the second he got a little practice in, he just absolutely went to town. And I will give Speaker more credit than Blabber. Currently, Speaker's better, but like that's fine. When one of your best performers is Santorin right now, I'm okay with that. I think Alfari with confidence and everyone just like going to his lane, that is the secret sauce there. Like it was kind of nasty. Like I was like, that's terrifying. When he was playing that GP game 2, I believe, and like they were all just, I was
that
that's
was
all I like
good.
to see.
Yeah.
That's all I like to see.
And on top of that, Tactical didn't run it on the other side of them.
That's true.
That was
he
the
hasn't been
big-
running it for weeks, guys. It has been like 7 or 8 weeks.
He's
and
figured it
part of
out.
it's 'cause just
7 or 8
hasn't
weeks
been
is a
played, but,
bit
like,
generous.
Hey, give me some mods. Give me some mods of him running it within the last 8 weeks.
Show me the clip.
I'm just saying, if you have one bad play on the 80 carry in the last 8 weeks, that's not running it. That's just being an 80 carry player.
Yeah.
Show me the VODs.
Show me the
that's
VODs.
He's probably the only major reason during the Armeo era, oh god, that they were able to like edge out a lot of those games. Because like Jensen wasn't showing up, Armeo was just sitting there farming, and Core JJ was just kind of like not playing well, honestly, comparatively.
Dude, I just feel so happy that Jensen actually played well. Like he's been in NA for so long,
Mhm.
and it's really sad to see him for like basically a whole last split, most of this split, and a lot of last year just kind of like not be alive. And then he's got Santorin, and all of a sudden he's playing really, really well. It's pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool
This
for Jensen.
reminded me a lot of walk-in tournament and early season Liquid last year, where it was just like holy moly, they're winning games pre 30 minutes. Like, what do you do against
Mhm.
that? I might be buying the sauce a little too much here, but you know, that's fine. I've been sitting there waiting for these extremely good players to play well for a long time, just like probably C9 fans are thinking. But like, I actually got to see it. So I'm totally willing to think that like Liquid is on the up and up, and like TSM's not necessarily on the down, but like they're just gonna sit there and they're gonna take it.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of faith in Lost either, if I'm being honest. Like I just.
Oh, I mean,
I don't-
there's a reason even League that hasn't mentioned Lost.
I know.
Like,
It's hard to mention him.
You're just trying to forget. Like, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Tactical had some bad games, but he has some very good games. Lost is for the most part like he's there. He
Yeah,
plays
he's
the
just kind of
characters.
there. He's like okay.
He's
Also,
inoffensive.
to League Dad and TSM's credit, we'll talk a little bit more because they are the first seed, so we should give them a little more credit.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're the first seed. Spica, probably the best jungler in NA. Up there for he's probably one of the top MVP candidates of the whole league. When I listen to the dive and I go on Twitter and stuff, it's mostly Spica getting the MVP votes.
Mhm.
That's a big deal. Also, Hootie's been playing great as a mostly weak side supportive guy. PoE is just as long as they don't put him on melee mids, for the love of God, don't do
Yeah,
this. Don't do it.
gosh.
Don't do it.
No.
Just don't do it. Okay? I don't care that Jensen popped off on Lee Sin.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay?
I don't wanna
Just
see
put him on
that.
Syndra, Oriana, Victor. I don't care.
Please.
Azir. Like
I don't even care if it doesn't fit in the comp. Just
I don't care
just-
either.
Yeah.
play Xerath, Zig. I really
Yeah.
don't care, man. Just don't play Lucian either. When I
Oh
said
gosh,
range,
no.
I meant AP mages specifically.
For the love of
Um,
Pete.
That's a
but
lot
if
of
that
caveats
happens,
for your mid laner there. I feel like
yeah, it
Team
is, right?
Liquid doesn't have as many anymore. I mean, his Lisa wasn't the best in the league, but it was very serviceable.
He was very aggressive and like he was just in the right place at the right time. And that champ is broken right now, so you know.
It was definitely not a Lee Sin player. It was just a good player playing a broken character.
Um,
Some of those
Yeah.
mechanics, I'm like, I don't think that's how you push.
Yeah.
I mean, he got some very good kicks though. Like he knew where to look for his ins. It's just like, yeah. Anyways, I will say like realistically, like I just think Liquid is on a higher trajectory. That momentum is a big deal. Like there's a reason why like C9 used to just run through loser brackets or lower brackets or whatever, or from lower seeds and just win a bunch. It's just like it gives you confidence, even if you're just beating up on C9. In this case, like it will give you confidence, and like TSM's kind of cold. They might be able to come back and like put up a good fight in the finals, but I just don't have a lot of reason. Like TSM has been very unexciting for the last couple of weeks in my mind. Like they've just been good enough to edge over first place over a declining 100 Thieves.
I will say, if TSM loses 3-0, I will not be here next week, and you guys will have to do the podcast on your own. Just kidding.
He's on a trip, a spiritual.
I will be on a journey finding myself. Oh man.
hard
Horse by
time.
any chance? By the beach? By the ocean?
Yeah, that would not be great.
Honestly, I always just have a hard time, like, regionally putting best of fives against Liquid. That I just have an issue with that. They're just, I think they're probably the best of five team, like, consistently that we've had.
It's true.
I mean, if you count the last like 5 years, that is very true. Very
Yeah.
true. Like, because they won.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
4
They
years
won 4
or
times in a row.
4
That
splits.
makes your ratio go up a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely
And-
does.
And a lot of those, right? They just won every single best of, like, I think like Double Lift specifically, like he just won every best of 5 forever. Like
Yeah.
for like years straight. And from Liquid, from TSM, just like that whole reign of just winning everything.
Except
So
that one time against GGS, but we won't talk about it.
yes, there was a little hiccup in the middle there, and then that one time he didn't even make playoffs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that happened.
Well, I mean, other than the votes and stuff being very wrong, is there anything else you guys wanna talk about on the episode before we wrap it up?
Team Liquid still in draft sometimes. They gave Xinjiao over, and it's not like they knew. Okay, so they very clearly had a plan. They gave C9 Xinjiao, and they early picked Trundle. They very clearly they decided to do that. That was not an accident. That wasn't a mistake. That was planned. That was premeditated.
Yeah.
It was a really stupid idea though, because Xinjiao is broken and Trundle is not, and Trundle isn't exactly the best. And then when you early pick Trundle, right? You can counter that really easy. They pick Varus Thresh. All of a sudden, Trundle's the worst champion in the game. So, I don't know. I honestly, Team Liquid, that's where the losses are going to come from. I think if Team Liquid didn't have any of those draft mistakes and like they just played the cleanest 3-0 against C9, I would probably also be going 3-0 because I do think they're just going to win the split, honestly. They're just too good. They're
They
so
are.
insane. I think they're going to...
Welcome.
Yeah, I think they're gonna run into 100 Thieves or EG or whatever, and they're gonna stomp them too. I really think so. This team looks really good right now, and I'm gonna be so sad if they lose to TSM.
I will be so happy. I might be a solo show next week.
There's a pretty clear top 3 in my opinion. Maybe 100 Thieves I'm on the fence about, but I think EG, TSM, TL.
Yeah,
are
I
favorites
think
to win.
so.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it can be any 3 of those. And again, I'm not, I don't know, but 100 Thieves. We'll have to see how they play this weekend because maybe
Yeah.
they were just trying stuff. I don't know.
I think 100 Thieves can make it, guys. I'm the one guy that voted for 100 Thieves. I think
I
they
think
can do it.
there's a chance, but until we
100
see
Thieves can
something
make it too.
different,
Yeah, I think they
like
can
we'll
do it.
have to see how they play this weekend.
Yeah.
We might be singing a
That's
new
what it comes down to
tune
a lot.
if we see 100 Thieves do well this week.
I
So,
hope so. I want them to. I really like their team.
yeah. Okay. Well, that's going to do it then. Remember, if you have any questions, you can email us at questions@theallinpodcast.gg, or you can tweet us at the Allin Podcast. I want to thank my co-hosts once again, Kevin, Mitchell, Alistair. Even though they roast me all day, I'm so happy that I get to talk with them league every week. But until next time, guys, enjoy your climb on the Rift. Try not to be too toxic, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.